This video is probably be a video I'm gonna have to replace, but long story short, what we're gonna do here in this video is we're gonna replace the button that you see here with a button that you would be able to use to capture information while at the same time being able to give incentive to your visitors to give their information to you with a expected outcome at the end, whether it be a downloadable product or whatever the case may be. So you have the button correct here, but we're going to replace the button with the contact form element, and there's a reason why. The reason is because we need that submission, that button, we need it to be able to do two things. Number one, force them to put information in, and then capture, and then the second part of it would be to send or cause a reaction to happen, whether it is send them to a different page or to cause a pop-up or a download or something to that effect to happen. So as you see here in the video on my screen here, I just pulled this contact form here. Don't be afraid about what you see here. This is going to be a lot slimmer, a lot easier, a lot smaller to the interface, so you don't have to worry too much about how it looks when you first pull it in. So when you first pull it in, you're going to have the title element here. We're just going to hover our mouse above it. In the upper right hand corner, you're going to see a blue X. Let's make it red. We're going to delete it. Same thing for the name. We don't need the name, so we're going to hover our mouse above it. Red, turn the blue X to red. Delete it. We do want to keep the email portion because we want to capture their email. Third one is the comment one. Same thing. Repeat process. Wash, rinse, repeat. Turn the blue X to red. Click on it. Delete it. Now you have the submit button there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to want the button to align to the middle, just so it looks a little bit better. And we're going to leave the submit button as that. And here's the kicker for it. When you have the form options, you're going to note the drop-down menu. There's the confirmation option here. You can either change it to message or link. Message is just when you click on submission, it's going to say, hey, thank you for giving us your email, or whatever the case may be. So if you click on it, you can change it right here. If you click back on this, it'll take you back out. But the link is what we want to do. We want to either link this to you'll have a couple options. Link it to a website URL, standard page, product page, blog post, or to a phone number. In this case, we're going to do it to a URL. So there's another step to this process. So right now, we're just going to leave it as URL. We're not going to put anything here. We're just going to click back out of it, and we are going to save it. You'll notice that the button goes to the middle. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at this, and you have it linked to, you don't have it linked to a URL. Okay, so what we're going to have to do in this process is create the page. If you haven't done so, you're going to click Pages at the top. You're going to add a new page. We're going to select the standard page. We're going to call it downloads. We'll just call it that just arbitrarily right now for one. We're going to hide it from navigation. That's the big thing too. We need to hide it from navigation because if it was in navigation, people will be able to just go into it. Exactly. But if we hide it from navigation, you're going to force users who don't know the URL for it to have to put in that particular their email address in order to get to that page. So we're going to go back to resources. We're going to go into the form, which only has the email address file line there. We're going to click on the submit button, and actually we're going to go ahead and I'm going to copy the text from the button below it. Click here to download top 10 things. I'm going to copy that text, go out of it, go back to the submit button. We're going to change it from submit to your text. So it's going to say, it's going to go from submit, it's going to widen, and it's going to say all that text there. We're then going to go back to the confirmation. We're going to change it from message to link. We're going to click on link again, website URL. Oh, excuse me, not the website URL. We're going to choose standard page. The website URL is for external pages. So if you were going to send to like Disney.com or something, you could do that. You're going to select standard page, and we're going to select that page that we just created called downloads. Now you can either, at the bottom of that menu, you can notice that there's a second option, a last option there. It says open a new window. You can put a check mark next to it. That's really and totally up to you. It's more a functionality than anything. If you want people to stay on your site, then do so. And since it's, even though it's a hidden page, the menu is still going to be at the top, that's totally fine to do. They're not going to be lost. So we select downloads. And what I like to do at the end of it, just simply because things are a little bit quirky sometimes with code, I like to hit the return key on my keyboard to make sure that it's confirmed. I will then click the save button at the top of the form. Now that we've done that, if you don't mind, and for this video, I actually have you on the line, so if people can't hear me, you can hear me. Can I go ahead and publish this for you? And so that, okay, great. We're going to go ahead and publish. And what we're going to see is when we go to the page, we go to resources. Sure. Okay, okay, so you can't hear the question in the video, but the question that you asked was, where do the emails go? Good question. I'll show you that in a moment. So this is the live site. We go to resources. Boom. You're going to notice that instead of it just being a button like the one below, you're going to notice it says email. Click here to download top 10 things. People will know right above it they need to put in the email because there's an asterisk there. Or you could change the wording to be put in your email to download top 10 things. You know, something like that. You kind of want to kind of guide them by the nose. Sometimes most people don't know what's going on. But for example, I'm going to go ahead and just do a test email here. So chris@webdev.com. When I click this button, it's going to force me to this new page. Now, of course, on this page, on the downloads page, you probably want to glitz it up a little bit, change it, you know, and have this big old bright button that says download PDF or download whatever the name of the book is. Okay, but now I'm going to go back into the editor and show you where the emails land. So now that we're back here on this page, if you click on that particular form, and you're going to have to do this from form to form. So if we have 5 different forms across site, right now we're going to have 3. We're going to have one for this top button, one for the bottom button, one for the contact form. Each one of those view entries areas are going to be different setups. Here's what I mean. So when you click on that contact form and everything grays out, you're going to notice that there's 3 buttons: a gray button, a blue button, and an orange button. Okay, view entries, form options, save. Form options, of course, you want to double check to make sure that it's going to the email address that you want it to go to. View entries is the kicker we're looking for. Let me just pull this down a little bit. As you see here, and you'll see it in the video, I pull down this window. It shows you at 428, at 8:17 in the morning, the IP address is here. That's the email address. That's your contact. And if you filled it out a little bit more, down below it's going to give you more information. But essentially, this is it here. And you would want to do that individually for each and every contact form you have. So if I went to, let's say, the contact form and use that contact form, my entry is not going to show up in this one. It's going to only show up in that one. So that means if you have 3 contact forms, you need to check those 3. Yeah. It can be a little bit of a hassle, but to kind of piggyback off of that, and you of course click save, or you can just click out of it. I just tend to click save to make sure I haven't made any changes. You could use the Weebly Promote platform, and I'm showing you in the video here. If you go into Weebly Promote here at the top in your dashboard, Weebly Promote is very similar to MailChimp or Vertical Response or Constant Contact, where it's a mail service. Where you have the build plan here. You would be able to see in the contacts group here all of your contacts. They're all going to basically pour into this one area. So if we go to add contact, you haven't synced Weebly contacts yet. If you click this button, it's going to run what they call a cron job in the background. I don't want to go into the technicalities of it, but when you click on sync Weebly contacts and you confirm it, all the contact forms, all of those view entries are going to funnel into here, which is the beauty of having promote. So you have it all in one spot, and you'll be able to segmentize. You'll be able to do whatever you need to. Export all of them, create groupings, do A/B testing with your different segmentations, whatever you want to do. It all funnels into here. So it's a little bit easier to use this and have promote as opposed to go into each and every individual contact. So with that said, this video has been great. I thank you very much for asking the questions, and I hope this really helps you out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and end this video.